Hey guys, welcome back to video 2 of 3. This one's called International Don'ts. So you probably guessed it, if you're from outside of the UK, these are all the things that you shouldn't do when creating your CV. Okay, first thing, you'll notice this email address has got an ES at the end, which means that this chap is from Spain. So the best thing is to get a .com or a .co.uk email, because it looks like you then have integrated and you're settled into the UK, as opposed to ES, IT, or an email address that relates to your home country. So that's the first thing. Let's keep going. You'll notice here with the dates, November to December, you can use abbreviations instead of the actual full words. So don't worry about putting in the full words for November and December. It's quite clear what they are. Third thing, barista. That is not an English word. Use only English words in your CV to stop there being any confusion. Fourth thing, and I might lose count, you'll see that in terms of the bullet pointing here, there's an inconsistency. We've got 3 bullet points here, and with this work experience we've got 4 bullet points. Now the implication there is that there was a lot more happening with this work experience. However, just be consistent. If you use 3 here, use 3 here. So don't be inconsistent. Right. Fifth thing, you'll notice there's repetition here. To facilitate, to collaborate, to inform, to facilitate. It's not a good use of English to continually use the same word to as the opening for every bullet point. Furthermore, there's clear repetition with to facilitate and to facilitate. So don't repeat yourself, and my one do is do try and aim for some variation. Sixth point, Avenida Soledad Vega Ortiz. I'm from a place in Northolt in London. I have no idea where this place in Spain is. So my advice is, in the example that it's from Spain, from Barcelona, shall we say, you can put FM Cafe, Barcelona, Spain. So that is the format that you should follow, because it's going to be incredibly unlikely that the recruiter is going to know the exact address in the instance that it's not a city that they would have heard of. So the best thing to do in that case, if you're from somewhere near Valencia, you could put the name of the city and say 90 kilometers from Valencia. That would be a good way of getting around it. It's just to make it as easy as you can for the recruiter to read. So let's keep going. Student teacher. These 2 words actually contradict each other. That's a fairly obvious thing to say. Don't do it. But the other thing to add is think about what your actual job titles are. Teaching assistant, for example, might be more appropriate in this case. You need to keep thinking in empathetic terms. Think about how a UK recruiter is going to see this and whether they will understand terms that might seem simple to you. So that's, I think, the 6th thing. Let's keep going. Now, Inditex. I don't know what that means. Always have a sense check to make sure that these words are going to be understood by someone from the UK that's reading your CV. Let's keep going. Formation of the professorship. As an English person, formation is something that we typically use in reference towards an attacking formation, like a football formation, or the formation of, attacking, so some kind of battle troops. So again, it's the same issue that's arising, in that formation is a word that doesn't translate very well. You've got some grammar and punctuation errors here. Specialised in foreign language, you've got a degree in primary teacher. It's a degree in primary teaching, and specialised in foreign language, a foreign language it would be, and you haven't specified what the language is. For example, if it is English, and the irony here is that given how many spelling corrections I've just made, the implication would be that actually you're not specialised in English because you've made mistakes when describing what your specialism is. So let's keep going. Personal skills and competencies. There's this list of all these things that you are. Hardworking, highly confidential, good sense of humour. There's little value in putting these things in your CV. London has the longest working hours in Europe. to say that you're hardworking in your CV it's going to be implicit, so you don't need to make a big point of that. Good sense of humour, it's not something we're used to seeing on CVs, and there's a lot of this stuff that doesn't really add value to what you do. So I would refrain from putting personal qualities certainly in this fashion, and we'll come back to how they should be represented in another video. So next thing, Spanish/Castilian. The best thing to put here for your mother tongue is to put a language that you're sure everyone will recognize. So if you speak Spanish and of course Castilian, there's no reason to put both of them. You can just put Spanish because, again, we're thinking in terms of what the recruiter will understand and recognize. So these are just some of my tips for the international don'ts.